Okay, now that our program checks and makes sure that the user gives the right input, it'll be nice to also add another check at the end of the program. What I'm talking about is, you've seen me every time I run the program, and you're probably doing that as well. We go and manually do ifconfig interface name, so for example eth0 or lan0, and then check and see if our MAC address got changed to the value that we requested from the program. So what I want to do, I want to add functionality to our program so that at the end of execution, it'll check if the MAC address did actually change to what the user asked, or if something went wrong and then the MAC address did not get changed. Now, in order to do this, we need to come up with a very simple algorithm. What we mean by algorithm is a number of steps that will allow us to achieve our goal. So our goal here is to check if the MAC address got changed to the MAC address that the user requested. We're doing this at the end of the execution of the program. And to come up with the steps that we need to take, all we have to do is just think, what do we do as humans when we try to check if the MAC address got changed? We open a terminal window, we run ifconfig, and we check the value under the other. So if we want to get our program to carry out these steps, we're going to have to first execute and read ifconfig. So far we know how to execute system commands using Python, but we don't know how to read the output. So we need to be able to read the result of ifconfig. We're also going to need to read the MAC address from this result. So once we read the whole result of ifconfig, we're going to need to filter this result to only this part of the result. So only the other part, the part that contains the MAC address. Third, we're going to need to use an if statement, so decision making, to check if the MAC address is what the user requested. And finally, print an appropriate message saying either the MAC address got changed or the MAC address did not get changed. Now we're going to apply everything that we learned so far in order to achieve this, and we'll also learn new concepts as we go through these steps. We're going to tackle these steps one at a time, and as we carry out this step, we're going to forget about the general goal. We're going to forget about the fact that we want to check if the MAC address was changed. When we go to step 1, we're just going to focus on solving that simple problem. We go to step 2, we focus on solving that simple problem. And then at the end, you're going to see how everything clicks together and solve the bigger problem, which is check if the MAC address got changed. So what we're doing is we're splitting the big problem into a number of small problems, which are easier to solve these small problems, and at the end, once we solve all of these small problems, solving the big problem is going to be very simple and trivial.